Well, welcome to this special edition of Shop Talk Live. I'm delighted to be joined by my very good friend and our guest, Jesper Ostergaard. Jesper, of course, is Managing Director of Reitan Convenience in Denmark, and we always enjoy working with you, Jesper.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
So, Jesper, this is an opportunity for us to catch up with what's been going on in the Reitan business,
yes.
of course, across the Nordics and the Baltics, as you are. You've just held a democratic festival, and we love the way you do things at Reitan. So I just wanted to ask you, what is a Reitan democratic festival? What happens?
Well, I would love to say it's our democratic festival, but basically it's a Danish idea. It was founded in 2011, and the whole idea is basically to bring together political parties, grassroots, different associations, companies, decision makers, and normal average citizens. So basically, how can we make citizens talk to politicians in real life instead of, watching on television, reading in newspapers what's happening? So that has been going on for years. We did not attend in the beginning, but the last 3 years we have been there. It's not a sort of a commercial event or festival. So the whole idea is not to sell a lot of products. The reason for that we are there is that we years ago decided that we had to become something more than just an average convenience store. We wanted to be able to impact decision makers, politicians in terms of rules and regulations. We wanted to talk about our vision and strategy. We wanted to be very visible about the fact that 7-Eleven Denmark is so much more than just pizza slices, Coke, and hot dogs. So attending this festival, which is like a 3-day festival with 75,000 participants, is of course a festival where we do sell a lot of products, and that's great. But the main idea for us is basically to talk about our vision and strategy, and especially around sustainability, animal welfare, healthier choices, basically. So that was a great event. We attend in different panel debates, both small events, big events with thousands of people. So it's a great opportunity for us to be part of the agenda when it comes to politics and regulations. So that's really nice to be there.
What a great idea. I wish every country did that. And you built a pop-up store.
Yeah, there's a lot of logistics going into this, because for some reason it was decided that this festival goes on a very remote island. So everything has to be taken there by boat. Participants either go by ferry or are flying to the island. So every time we close down and pack everything away, we keep it at a farm at this island, and then we rebuild the store the year after. So, but that itself creates a certain feeling. You are far away from the rest of the country. It's usually fantastic weather in June. So it's a great event. Yeah, definitely.
Very, 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 very interesting. And obviously the Danish market, what you're doing in Denmark and in Copenhagen in particular, has been of great international interest this year. We had a very successful event with you, which you helped us host in Copenhagen back in March. You enjoyed that. I think you and your team enjoyed that.
We definitely enjoyed it. We have a lot of visitors coming to see our stores and talk to us, but a more structured visit than the one you were putting together was really great. You always have visitors where you feel, why did they even go or bother? But this group of people were so keen, so curious, so interested that we all really enjoyed it. And what happens every time you get visitors, you always learn a lot yourself. One thing that struck me after your visit was actually when I think back when I joined this business many years ago, and we went on conferences somewhere in the world, I realized we always had very different challenges in our countries or markets. But I would say the last couple of years, every time I meet people from other countries, it's really funny. We have more or less the same challenges we're working for to solve. And somehow I think it makes it easier for us to talk together because we have the same challenges, probably the same solutions to them as well. So there was a lot of talking going on, and that was really interesting for us.
Well, absolutely. I just endorse everything you've just said. I mean, one of the things that we were talking about the most, and I think subsequently a lot of the retailers from, I think we had 15 different countries at least attending, were talking about was your pipeline for supplier innovation, for product innovation. And it's a multiple supplier universe, isn't it, for that pipeline? I mean, we've highlighted certain of those suppliers over the years, particularly Celine at the Protein Kitchen. Yeah. But there's you've helped, what's the word? Cultivate. Is that perhaps the right word? A really strong supplier pipeline, haven't you, Jesper?
Yes, I think that's the perfect word to use for that. I think back in 2011-12, where we basically formed our new strategy for Denmark, we decided that to become a destination for food, to become a destination for exciting products that could not be bought elsewhere, we had to have a very, very close relationship with small upcoming companies, very innovative people. And Protein Kitchen was one of the first that we sort of started working together with. Cecily, on the picture you show here, is a great girl. She had some ideas. She started producing some salads in the kitchen in her home and came to us and said, I have an idea. How can I sort of continue? So since then, we have been working a lot with inviting in these very small upcoming companies and supporting them, helping them, mentoring them in terms of discussing what would you think or what would we think would work with you, which kind of products, which kind of ingredients, which kind of wrapping should we go for in terms of the climate debate, etc., etc., etc. So we have really become, I would say, a stage where early upcoming innovative people comes to us and talks about their ideas. And that's exactly the goal we had back in 2012. So that secures that we today have exciting product ranges. Very often we have the products exclusively for, let's say, 3 to 6 months before they go to the rest of the market. So that is a vital part of our strategy and our business model.
I mean, it's quite a feat, isn't it? Making yourself I love the way you put that, the stage, for these discussions and ideas to happen. And then you have that in return, you have that exclusivity for a good period of time, a reasonable period of time. Have you seen that? Very exciting, I think. And it's obviously something a lot of the industry wants to strive for. It would have been one of the topics that we'd all been in agreement on. But obviously it's difficult to get there, isn't it? Have you seen, obviously the other question I should ask is, have you seen some big sales, some big sales and profits as a result of the success of that strategy? Is it working for the business?
Yeah, it definitely works for the business. When we started, I would think that what we classify as healthier choices, i.e. salads, etc., accounted for perhaps 5% of our total turnover when it comes to food and beverages. But that accounts for close to 38% today. So that has definitely worked. We have grown the customer base year on year. So we have many more customers per store per day today than we had back then. And we can see when we do our analysis that the new customers coming into our stores are actually customers buying these products. So if we had opted or decided that time, no, that's not going to work, it's not part of our business, because it is challenging. You don't have exactly the same high margins as you have on a hot dog or a pizza. But if we had not done that, we would only have had like 50% of the daily customers as we have today. So that has sort of secured our long-term future, I'm pretty sure. If we look at our next 5 years in terms of where's the growth coming from, comparable growth, not opening new stores, it is from these products as well where we see the growth coming. So it's really exciting.
Absolutely, and it was thrilling to see the success that you're having with that. Well, I think one of the other things that struck us was some of your thinking and your commercial success in terms of looking at the airport location that you're working in at Copenhagen, and you've had a lot of success in that very different kind of space,
Yeah.
that unique type of space, haven't you?
Yes, we have. We have been operating stores in the airport for many years, but for many years we sort of never got allowed, so to say, to operate stores in what we say is the real airport, namely the airside. We had one store on airside, but that was sort of far away from the center of the airport. But what happened last year was that they were running a tender for convenience stores in the airport, and we won that tender back in autumn last year. And right now, these days, we are actually sort of materializing what we got out of it. So what it means is we are currently opening new stores airside as well. We are establishing new vending solutions. We have not been working with vending in Denmark before, but we have been working with the technology side, the product range side, and then we have established this branded 7-Eleven Go to sort of let the customer know this is not the normal range in a manned store. So this is exciting. We currently operate 6 what we call vending islands in the airport. It's still early days, but when everything is opened, we will be operating 11 7-Eleven manned stores and 89 vending machines throughout the whole airport and 1 cafe. So basically 12 manned stores and 89 vending machines. So
I'm glad you repeated that second number, because it's huge, isn't it?
It is huge, and it will be the airport in the world with most 7-Eleven stores. So it's really, we have our footprint all over the airport, which we are so excited about. So yeah, it's really exciting days. The turnover we are achieving in the airport when everything is built and ready is really high. So it has become a huge part of our business. And that's exciting. We get allowed to show our products and the brand for so many travelers every year. Copenhagen Airport is the biggest in Scandinavia. So we are really happy about this situation.
I love, you've almost rethought vending, haven't you, a bit?
We have been trying to rethink vending because our own experience has been so far, it's basically soft drinks or water. And very often if you are thirsty, you want to buy water, then it didn't work. You couldn't get access to it. It was too complicated. So we have been working on the technology quite for a while, and we think we are there now. So it's really seamless business. It's really easy to access. Everybody knows how to do it. So far, we actually can see that our turnover coming from vending is close to the double of our budget. So it's really performing well.
Well, I can see why, because nobody likes queuing, and there's such a need for immediate consumption, isn't there, in that type of airport environment. So, in a way, you've secured the business for the future with your new supplier pipeline and the kind of, the relationship you created there with all these exciting new businesses who are willing to take risks and try innovative things and really be at the leading edge of product innovation. And then you're doing very well in all aspects of your business. What do you think, looking ahead, next 5 years, Jesper, what does the future look like for the convenience industry in Denmark, and perhaps you could say more widely than Denmark as well?
I think first of all, as said when we talked about your visit in Denmark, I think convenience operators, the convenience business in general, gets more and more similar. So in the old days, we traveled a lot to get inspiration. We still do that. We still get a lot of inspiration, but we don't see that big differences from country to country anymore. So I think we have accomplished a lot in the industry in general, and it all focuses on food and beverages, really. It does here in Scandinavia as well. So it's hard to say what happens in 5 years, but I think things happens much faster than my first 10 years in the industry. So we really have to up ourselves. We really have to work even faster, because our competitors in the Danish market is doing pretty well as well. They have learned how to develop products as well. They have learned how to be very fast to the market with new things. So every time we talk about this from a strategic angle, we just emphasizes the importance of being even faster. So where should the growth come from in Denmark the next 5 to 10 years? We have a quite bold ambition. We are going to double our turnover from 21 in 27. That requires quite a lot, I can tell you, but we are on track. We are developing, we have good growth. We have more customers coming into our stores. And the main focus is still, as it was 10 years ago, food, bakery, and hot and cold beverages. And that's really where we think we have to be the best in the future as well. We do think we are the best today, but we have to be that in 5 years as well. And you know, the convenience industry, at least in Scandinavia, it was many, many years based on the traditional kiosk products like magazines, newspapers, tobacco, and all these categories. We still have them, but they are declining dramatically. So what I said 10 years ago is I assume that one thing that won't change is that we still need to drink and eat, no matter how the technology develops. So, you know, you don't buy a physical newspaper today, a printed newspaper. Well, not many do, but you read news on digital solutions, but we still have to eat and drink. So at that time, we felt it was wise to focus on that, and we believe that will be the future as well. So the question is, how can we make sure we are still the best in that area in the next 5, 10, 20 years? I remember when we started talking about freshly made sandwiches in store 10 years ago, I remember my board saying, very reticent, I'm not sure it works, too much labor cost, but everybody does that today. I think our next move will be a much more restaurant feel, a much more product-driven solution where we actually make more on demand. That is labor consuming as well. I'm aware of that, but I just feel if we don't do it, we might not be around in 5 years. So the focus we have is a lot on our values. Our most important value is our customers, our boss, i.e. we have to be extremely customer centric, and whatever the customer expects from us, we have to deliver that. If we don't, the competitor will.
No, well, I completely endorse that. And well, I think that's a very valid picture for the future. I mean, what I would like to say, just thank you very much for, again, spending time with us for this conversation, for hosting us so well in March. And I think one of the reasons the global industry is moving so fast, Jesper, is that, you know, we have leading lights who are willing to share, you know, what they and their teams are doing and all the hard work, you know, behind it. And that, you know, I think that the phrase is, you know, a rising tide lifts all boats, doesn't it? And the industry is very joined up these days, isn't it? And I think that's really helping us accelerate and across different markets.
Yeah, agree.
All right, Jesper, nice talking to you.
You too. Thank you very much.